In session here on Six Music, Katherine Priddy with George Boomsma. And anyway, always another couple of live numbers to come, but lovely stuff. Thanks very much for that. And Welsh Borders David's been on, says, really looking forward to hearing Katherine tonight. I saw some of her very early shows at the Kitchen Garden Cafe in Kings Heath, supporting the likes of James Yorkston and Alistair Roberts. Great to see her getting the recognition she so richly deserves. Have you memories of those shows?
I have indeed, yes, absolutely. I remember having a lovely chat with James Yorkston upstairs at the Kitchen Garden Cafe. And we were there just this week. I was launching a little EP album listening party there for a week before it was out. So yeah, lovely venue.
Were you still at the stage there in those early shows where you were learning from other musicians? I suppose you never finished learning from other musicians.
You never finish. No, I think the moment you think you're finished, you've probably done something wrong. You need to keep learning forever. So.
And well done on the new record. This is the second LP, and it's such a good record. And I know people have picked out themes of the record of home, family, nostalgia, and they do occur during the course of the record. There's other things too, and it seems that they're always very natural areas to write songs about, aren't they? Yeah,
I think so. And particularly for me, over the last couple of years, I've been moving out, moving back in again, trying to work out where I want to be. And obviously that was the chapter where I was writing a lot of those songs. So I think it naturally occurred. I think my first album was written a lot during my teens, and this album is very much in my 20s, where I'm just trying to work out what home is for me and where I want to be and what I want to do. I'm kind of wanting to move on and do something big and something different, but not quite being able to resist the pull of home and my comfort zone at the same time. So.
It's interesting having got those songs together and then ready to record them. Last week we had Andrew Savage in session. He's with Parquet Courts, and he's also got a record out as A Savage, and he talked about working with John Parrish and how John Parrish manages to capture the sound of a band in a room, and that's very much what it sounds like on his record. Now, it also sounds like that on your record, but it isn't a band in a room.
It's all illusion.
Just tell us a bit about how you got the other musicians involved and where their contributions came from.
Yeah, so this album was recorded in a little bunker in deepest, darkest Digbeth in Birmingham, and it was the producer, Simon Weaver, is amazing. The studio itself was very much a little dank bunker. There's a huge hole in the floor with cones around it that you have to walk around, no lights in the toilet and all this sort of thing. And so we thought, well, we can't really bring artists and musicians here because it just didn't feel, it's a health and safety hazard, frankly. So we everyone who was on that album except for George and myself and Simon were remotely recorded. And then we had to spend quite a long time trying to blend them in. So it was a lot of toing and froing online. But then we brought in lots of sounds of home and sounds of kind of creaky floorboards and things into the album as well to make the whole thing feel nice and lived in. So.
Yeah, and that works. So, for example, there are horns that appear on the record. So for that, would you send off the tune to whoever's going to play? Then it would come back to you and you find out what they'd done? Yeah,
I kind of sent it off to them with an email with lots of rambling notes and thoughts, and I think they listened to it. They may have just ignored it. But then it was a lot, just toing and froing and sending ideas backwards and forwards and little voice notes over WhatsApp, me pretending to be a trumpet and that sort of thing.
So you mentioned the homespun kind of aspect to it and feeling comfortable and comfort zones and all this stuff. You are a twin.
I am indeed.
And we've worked out that you're not identical because...
No, he's a brother.
He's a boy, okay.
Yes.
But we have, on two different occasions, two different bands. So one being Warm Dusha, which features a really great guy called Ben Romans Hopcraft. And we've also had Wooloo in, which is his brother, twin brother, identical twin brother, which is Miles. Okay. And I said to him, "Oh, so you're twins, aren't you?" And he said, "Yes, we are womb mates."
Oh.
So I'm glad you've never heard it, because I just think that is great, and I will guarantee you will be using that for the rest
I'm not sure. I know me and George both did the same face there. Going, but we are womb mates. No, that's true.
There's no denying it.
No denying it. No.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I also read. It's all right. It's a pleasure. We don't charge for this service at all. But beyond that, also, I read that you kind of get a little bit nervous playing in front of small audiences.
Yes.
Now, you should be very grateful, because I was supposed to be on holiday in Athens tonight, and I couldn't go for various reasons. So you've got two people instead of one tonight, which hopefully makes you feel a bit better.
Yes. No, it's fine. It's an absolute pleasure. You'll notice that when I'm singing, I'm staring at this wall over here. It's nothing personal.
That's fine.
Who can blame you?
It happens all the time. I was going to say you're going to play. What I'd like to do, I think, because you're going to play 2 more tunes, and there needs to be a bit of. I know we should have talked about this beforehand. Sorry, it's my fault. And then you're going to do a bit of retuning in between the two. So that's why I'm going to attempt to read out the tour dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
But before that, just talk to us about the collaboration song that you're going to play last of all with George, because it's the one you wrote together, and the results seem to be fantastic. And I wonder if you're going to do a bit more of that in the future. I don't know.
Yeah, well, obviously George tours with me and plays with me, and we were backstage at a festival, and he came to me with a melody and most of a chorus, but it was missing lyrics. And he said he wanted the song to feel like the sort of song that would suit the end of the Titanic, where there's this older couple clinging onto each other and the ship's going down, which I thought was a bit morbid. I think George was trying to cash in on some funeral use, I think was what the plan was. And I thought, okay, I can kind of get the drift with this, but we need to make it a little bit less morbid. So we wanted to write a song that's, just a kind of a love song, and it felt, because it's called Ready to Go and because of the themes, when you hear it, it felt like the perfect way to end the album. So it ended up on there.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to hear that after the next tune, which is what?
This is Father of Two, talking of twin brothers. This is a song for my dad. There is one for my brother on the album, but this is one I wrote for my dad for a significant birthday, and I know he's listening at the moment as well, and he's a real inspiration. He's had a hard old time of it, but he always just keeps going, so I wanted to write him a bit of a love song. I know it's Valentine's Day. This isn't a Valentine's song, but it is a love song for my dad. So yes.
Okay.